Peace. What it do? Brother Old God here. And I want to speak, for a few minutes on the Dr. Umar case. I've seen a whole lot on it. I actually been following for a couple months. I've been listening to the detractors. Also been listening to some of Umar's messages, when I had the opportunity to, but I definitely wanted to address it, being as though I'm a long time supporter of Dr. Umar Johnson, been to lectures, supported pretty much, whenever I can. Now, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I got people, around me, that feel different than I feel. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I have had conversations with people, who have said have expressed their concern about the brother, and I still beg to differ. I think it's important that we still, continue to support, Dr. Umar Johnson for a lot of reasons. Now, I've been listening and I'm hearing people ask a lot of questions about Umar. And I've been listening to the detractors because I like to listen, to both sides. And I haven't had an opportunity to really piece everything together like I wanted to. And I need to really put more time into this channel. But I stay very busy on my other channel that I run pretty much. It's full time and that and the website. But the brother, throughout the years, has made some strides in the community. The brother has made some mistakes. But I want to go back though. I want to go back just a little bit, because even though I see a lot of people supporting him now, you know what I mean? And it's cool. And I love it, but the conscious stripper thing, and this is why, sometimes it's not always good to go public with everything, and I'm learning that because sometimes when you put stuff out, you could never get it back, no matter. And sometimes you could feel somebody one way about somebody now, you might not feel that way about them later, so sometimes it's not always good to go public, stuff. And with the YouTube game, people chop it up, and then videos is up from 2 years ago, right? But it was people then who had platforms, and Umar even brought it up in his speech, who at the time when that whole conscious stripper came out, if you remember, he was saying, he had a lot of momentum at the time. He actually, it was crazy. I'll get to this point too. What's crazy about the whole situation is that he said that it was an athlete or something. Now, I don't know, if this has never been validated. Nobody doesn't know who the athlete is. At least I don't know who the athlete is. Was supposed to make a sizable donation. And when the conscious stripper, the whole quote unquote conscious stripper situation, when that popped off, we seen, that that people who had beefs and vendettas with him took that as an opportunity to further slander, to further, drag and pull his name, through the mud. And for that, I think people remember that. People remember when they're down, or when, like now, Umar's going to remember the people who stood by his side and the people who shitted on him. So when that happened, a lot of people, shitted on him, and we was one of the groups, organizations, whatever you want to call, who tried to, remain by the brother side, through everything. Now, I don't condone, again, we don't know the facts of the situation. We don't know who, but I do know, I have my own intel, because all I do is just listen. Listen more, talk less. A lot of these dudes just want to talk. Listen. I'm not gonna mention the lady's name, but I've been, keeping the videos, and there's been one in particular lady who's been on the brother's case. And there's been a couple other people, who I know because, again, I've been following Umar for a long time. I've been a follower, of him since I mean probably '08 or something around that time. So it's been a long time, right? But there's a certain group of people who are the culprits, and I could bring it out, and I could play the audios and all, and maybe the time may come, but I'm gonna hold that to myself right now. You know what I mean? Everything right now is strategic at this point in the media game. You have to be very strategic, by the way you move. But once again, I got people around me who don't agree. People around me who don't agree with me continuing to support Dr. Umar Johnson. I have people that have all but written the brother off, but I'm not. I'm gonna continue to support, as I think we should continue to support, because, and another thing I want to bring up, what leader do we know who wasn't considered a fraud, a fraudulent, or something? What leader? Every leader that we ever had was considered something. So nobody's perfect at the end of the day, is what I'm saying. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's without flaw here. We got to just learn, to look past and look at the good in the brother. Now, I'm not condoning, I do agree. And again, this is the way this brother wants to run his operation. The GoFundMe, we know that it took 15% off the top. That's just what it is. I think somewhere around 15%, off the top. Now on the contrary, and these are the people, and I may even bring the brother forth, but I don't, right now is not the time for us to have a conversation. The brother, you got people. This is the thing. This is the thing that you have to understand, right? The people that you see on YouTube is not the end all be all. There's actually people out here that's really doing stuff. There's actually people who are considered so-called conscious that's actually doing shit, but they're not on YouTube. I hope y'all understand that for a minute. So you have people actually doing shit, but they don't have time to pick up the camera and show everything. So yeah, there are conscious people that are, whatever the word may be, conscious Christian, whatever. There are people out there that's actually doing things. So people that I know are actually working in schools, doing stuff actively, but they're not on YouTube. So they have criticisms, and I understand that. It's fine. But I don't think that this is the place to do it, to tear the brother down. It's not the place to do it. You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, if he's betraying the aspirations of the people, if people find out, that money's missing and stuff like that, then we looking at something different. But right now, none of that is the case. People are just speculating about stuff that they have no idea about. Now, as far as the licensing issue, it appears to be a small discrepancy, and him maybe misrepresenting what he may be. We will get to that. When we know once everything comes out, then we can come back and say, okay, this is what it is. But now is where you separate and you see where everybody is in this situation. But my thing is, and also what I want to say, everybody that you see coming out who's acting like they're a supporter and that they're with them is not. There's some people are just using this as an opportunity to do whatever. And then some people want the brother spot. You have jealous people of the brother out there. You have that. You have that element. And then you have an element also of where things could have probably been done in a different manner. And that's anybody who runs a business. People can go back and look at decisions I made, decisions other brothers made, and say, damn, I wish I could have did this a little bit different. But this is what happens. This is a part of business, for one. This is a part of struggle, for two. Another thing I don't agree, and which he probably couldn't have did, he shouldn't have did, but probably it was hard to do, is giving these people your plans. Giving these people your plans. Because they ain't gonna do nothing but pick apart everything that you do and try to fucking destroy you, man. That's why they say, don't always move in silence. But in this type of situation, you kind of need the people's money to do what you're going to do, and that. So I haven't even been reading the chat room right now. So if people's going in, I don't know. I don't even care. I'm just going to get this out, and I'm going to move on to what I have to do. You know what I mean? I'm actually running out of time now. I'm trying to find the time to do this. But once again, there are a few people who I think that may be behind, attacking the brother. But one thing the brother always says, and he has to understand, without struggle, how can it be progress? This is just a part of the process. Unfortunately, your people are going to tear you down. Your people are going to call you frauds. Your people, are going to do this. If you want to be that leader, if you want to be the leader who's the next Garvey and the next Prince of Pan Africanism, you know what I mean. This is something that's going to have to be endured. So I'll check the comments in a few minutes, and then I'll be done with this. But as of right now, I still support the brother, in everything he does. I make my own independent decisions. I do listen to other people that are around me, but ultimately I make my own independent decision outside of anything else. And I know what the brother has meant in my life personally, from the information that I read, what I seen the brother do. And I'm sitting here and I'm listening to the sister that's continuously making videos, and I'm listening to the whole video, and I'm trying to just find out what's her intent. And people are not showing their faces, but they're making these videos. And that's something that I always talked about, even going back for years, people not showing their faces, and they're making these videos. And it's just like, what's your intent? Are you really taking down what you think is a con man, or do you really just have envy, vitriol, and hate for this brother that you want to just destroy him? Is it that? I don't know. I don't know at the end of the day, but it's just like, be careful. All I'm gonna say is this: before I go to the chat, be careful who we tear down. Be careful, right? Because once they gone, and I was listening to a podcast, and we hear about a lot of our leaders, people killing themselves, people outright giving up, people, whatever. It's a lot of pressure, it's a lot of stress that goes with the occupation. And I always say this, on the contrary about the brother, just give him more support. He could have been a brother who went on the other side and said, you know what, fuck these kids. I'm gonna work with inside the school system. Yeah, I know, but I'm just gonna give them this shit. I'm gonna feed it along. Yeah, I'm gonna diagnose them with all this shit that I know is phony. I'm just gonna make my, couple $100,000 a year and do. But he went against the grain. He goes on to big platforms. Yeah, the brother's arrogant. Yeah, the brother, everybody makes tactical mistakes along the way. Everybody does. In every camp, even look at Trump. But the thing is, you don't see a whole bunch of people lining up to tear him down like they do Dr. Johnson, our own people. And I'm sure some white people that's trying to take him down too, that are aiding and abetting in that. So that's just my opinion. That's not going to change, to his reason to change, and then it'll be that. But until then, I think that we need to rally. Did he do something, that crazy? At this point, as far as we know, did he do something that crazy for people to be going in and trying to rip this brother down? Is all I want to know. You know what I mean? So with that being said, that's all I wanted to say real quick. And I'll see if anybody had any questions. Then I'm done. If I can even get on here. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, you're right about that. Right. So yeah, I mean, cool. What up, Wax? Appreciate you. The reason I'm not naming names right now, the reason I'm not naming names right now, because it's not the right time to name the names of the people. But the one brother I see make a video, and the reason I'm not naming names because it's bigger. It's bigger than just regular old people. It's bigger than that. And I heard somebody say something. Now the video is gone. At the time, I would have took the video. I would have had what the brother said. But what the brother said made me seem like he may have been working with some type of authority, behind it for what he said. This information will only be able to be discovered, by somebody who had behind the scenes access. So for him to say this, it made me wonder. But at the time, I didn't take the video down. When I went to look back for the video was gone. So I think it's bigger. That's just me. I could have put together a whole elaborate, scheme and all of that, and we could have, did all that. But matter of fact, Darren, if you want to come on here, bro, I'll let you on real quick if you want to speak on it. A lot of venom. Somebody put none of Umar supporters can even articulate specific arguments or answers. Y'all just vow support. Yeah, I'll send you the link real quick. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Why it's not coming up? Hold on. All right. Oh, that's my other account. I just sent you that invite. Hopefully that invite, comes through. We can talk about it, for a few minutes. Yeah, no doubt. It's like somebody says you articulate. What's to be articulated? What's to be articulated here? Let them, okay, they take his license. So what? It's still work that got to be done. Just do it. Not offending people's actions. Like the brother Darren, like the brother, my man Darren Marion, saying, me and him had conversations, behind the scenes about this, but we never really had it out about it. It was just his opinion. It was just my opinion. And we kind of just moved on, So, he's a school psychologist, not a clinical psychologist. Okay. I got you. I mean, John Hill, I got you, man. I got you, brother.